But I don't think as a prophet what he's coming for is good for Kenyans in the spiritual realm. And I'll just urge one thing as a prophet to our president. Please, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever it is that you are after, the glory and honor, they are innocent Kenyans whom their blood should not be given as a sacrifice. If I was a president of this country, I would have stopped the King of Britain from coming to Kenya for now. There is something malicious spiritually with this journey. There's something that is not right with this journey spiritually. And I don't know if the men and the women of God in this country, they are feeling something in the spiritual realm. The visit, it is good. It is of honor. The first African country is praying, is coming to. But there is a secret that you people don't know about Uhuru Gardens. Uhuru Garden, it is a royal burial place of England House. Why is he coming to Uhuru Garden? What is he is coming to revive? What kind of spirit is coming to take from Uhuru Garden? Because that is his major attention. And I'm telling you, watch, you will hear he came, he went to Uhuru Garden, but there was no covering. There was no coverage. That must be done in secret. But there is no secret in the presence of God. No matter how dark it is, God will reveal something to somebody somewhere. And God will tell somebody, you know what? This is what is coming to happen. It's not secret. But all I can urge, still, we are powerless. The government can do what it wants, when it wants, the way it wants, where it wants. But even though we are powerless, we have still something we can offer to this country. Prayers. But if I would be the president of this country, I will stop that visit first. I want to pray, and I am praying the people who are advising the president of this country spiritually. They are awake. They are not asleep. Nations are not ruled by systems of papers and agreement. Nations are ruled by spirits behind it. Every nation is formed by a spirit. Every nation is ruled by a spirit. Israel became a nation by a spirit. We just have to pray for our country. Because there's too much demonic taking place in this country right now that people don't know. There's too much demonic taking place. In fact, I am telling you for free as a prophet. The beginning of demonic altars in this country started from Moi. Altars in this country reduced in the regime of Kibaki. And it was highly reduced in the regime of Uhuru. But it's going to increase in a capacity that you people never imagined. But what is worrying me is that why should such altars increase when this nation is being led by a believer who is even in a church right now somewhere? Why? Is he the one who has a problem? Or is it the spiritual people surrounding him who have a problem? They're not telling him the right thing to do. What kind of honor does it have to celebrate 1 month and to serve 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, because a covenant was just made? Let me tell you, a covenant endorsed by your grandfather Your father cannot break it. A covenant endorsed by a president, a chief cannot break it. It's just another president, again, who will break it. Anytime Israel was in the hands of a bad ruler, it suffered, even if it had a good administrator, a provincial administrator, a district administrator, because authorities are different. I will urge all of us, and everyone who is listening to me, wherever you are, this has nothing to do with your church or your denomination. This has everything to do with our country. It's not politics, but it's spiritual. We need to arise on our feet and pray for our country. Defend it in prayers. We need to arise and defend our country in prayers. And I'm telling you for free, right now in East Africa, the only country that is safe spiritually is Uganda, not even Tanzania. Something is going on in East Africa. Right now, the only country that is spiritually free, spiritually, it has a lot of, I don't know how to put it. Uganda is very far from us. He may be a dictator. He may be what people say he is, Museveni. But his heart is very clear with God. His heart is very clear with God. And that was the same season we had in the time of Kibaki. He may have been a drunkard, but his path with God was very clear. Uhuru Kenyatta. But this one, I can't tell the problem is our president or the people surrounding him. But the bottom line is there is a problem spiritually. Brothers, God must raise a voice that will talk to his people. And so this demands nothing. It demands nothing but prayers. It's upon now me and you and every one of us just to make sure that this country, we protect it with prayers. Because there's too much openings that the devil is creating within our land. Too much openings. Let me assure you. Do you really believe the Son of God, Jesus, could come to Jerusalem on a donkey with people shouting and praising, and then devil comes to a country in a hidden box like a thief? When the Bible says he's a master of all pride? No. He must come through an element that you will admit and accept. Devil is always in Kenya. He's always everywhere on earth. He's where he wants to be, when he wants to be, the way he wants to be. But he doesn't access much because the land is not the whole thing. Your hearts are everything. Your hearts are the gates. And when he uses an element that your heart will openly open, then he accesses and he enters. I don't know whether I've spoken with somebody. I don't know whether someone has understood what I've said. So with all these visits and what, I have one problem. When we make stories on something, that story might come back to me. Yesterday, I happened to be somewhere with some of my spiritual family here, and on the way we found ourselves discussing the issues of Billy Gates, Elon Musk, why they are coming to Kenya to invest, and we stopped the story there. But now at night is when now everything revolves around and it's opened to me. But I will only say one thing. I know one thing. Sometimes the faith of a one man can save a whole community. And if it will take my faith to save this country, so may God help me. Sometimes God needs only one person, not 2 or 3, just one. It was not a fasting of 50 or 40 people that saved the Jews in the land of Babylon. It was just a fasting of one man by the name Daniel. He decided to do it for 21 days by himself. And the fate of the Jews were discovered. It was just one man. Sometimes it's not the big crowd that is needed. Maybe it's just one person who has a heart and who is willing. It was not a crowd of 1 million people that were required to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. It was just one man who started it, and his name was Nehemiah. He was at his comfort, and then he said, at my comfort, me and the king, we are so friendly. He calls me for breakfast, he calls me for dinner. He asks me, we go out, we stroll together. Why has God given me this favor? Is there anything that God wants out of this favor to be done? And Nehemiah looked back and he realized, yes, I'm a slave. I live comfort. I live very comfortable. I eat, I'm honored, I'm favored by king. But can it be this? God is doing it for a purpose. What is it that is broken? And Nehemiah realized the walls of Jericho were broken. And the walls to be rebuilt, a concert from the king must be given. And this king, I've realized something, that anything I ask him, he will grant me. Can it be? This is the opportunity that God has given me so that a concept can be given out. And Nehemiah went back to the scroll to check if there was anything prophesied about the walls. And then he realized Jeremiah had said after 70 years, the walls were to be rebuilt again. And Nehemiah went to calculation and he realized it was 70 years already. And he went to the king and told king, may I have a word with you, my lord? And the king said, Nehemiah, go ahead. What is it? And he said, Lord, I want you to permit me go back home. And the king said, I thought you were comfortable here. You're a good man. And Nehemiah said, yes, king, it's true. Your land has prospered. You have grown great. And you have shown us kindness. Because a prophet decreed that to us. A prophet told us, if we try to rebel here, we will die. And a prophet told us, all we have to do here is to pray for you people to succeed and prosper. And a prophet said, if we pray for you people and we work hard with you people, this nation will prosper and we shall also prosper. And indeed, that's what has happened. We have prospered. We are not suffering like our forefathers in Egypt. We are in exile, but we are not slaves, because you removed the spirit of slavery in us. But my Lord, east, west, home is always the best. I'm not going back home. I don't want to go back home because I'm suffering. But I want to go back home because I'm longing for home. I want to go back home. And the king said, fine, I grant you permission. And Nehemiah told him, my Lord, don't get angry. Where I'm going, there are no walls. Because all the walls were brought down. Especially the walls of our God. And that word touched the king. And the king told him, so, what can I do for you? And Nehemiah told him, give us a concert. Give us a decree. Give us a letter that we may go and rebuild those walls. Only that. Which king will accept that? Rebuilding your wall means raising up yourself. Maybe you want to raise yourself and defect. But that was not the mind of the king. The king said, fine then. You can go. Here is a letter. And Nehemiah said, even what we have collected is not enough. And the king said, give me your budget. And Nehemiah gave a budget. And the king said, I give you. And the king himself said, with all these treasures, Nehemiah, you can't reach Jerusalem alone. I will give you an army to escort you. And I will give you an army to protect you on the way. And I will give you men who have skills to go and join those men who are there and rebuild. And Nehemiah told him, we Jews, we build our own cities. And the king told him, look for men from Jews and go with them. And anytime you're in need, let me know. I will supply. From exile, Nehemiah had no one who rebelled against him. But he found people who had remained there, who could not bring up the walls, who were comfortable with the broken walls, who were okay living in ruins, and they were ruling the ruins. But when Nehemiah came to rebuild the walls, they stood against Nehemiah. Sanballat, Tobias, and others. They were not from the exile. Sometimes it doesn't need 1 million people. Sometimes it just needs only one person, one man, one woman somewhere, willing to stand in the gap. Yet your church leaders knows.
Ile hali viongozi wenu wa kanisa wanajua.
Your church leaders knows.
Viongozi wa makanisa wanajua.
But because they feed with them on the tables in secret, in darkness.
Lakini kwa sababu wanakula na nyinyi kwenye meza zenu kwenye siri.
They feed with them.
Wanakula na wao.
In secret. There is a high loss of jobs.
Kuna kiwango cha juu sana cha upotezaji wa kazi
and businesses
na biashara
in Kenya.
Hapa Kenya.
People are losing more jobs.
Watu wanapoteza kazi mingi.
And many businesses are closing.
Na biashara mingi zinafunga.
There is a spirit on the land.
Kuna roho katika nchi
of droughtness.
Ya ukame
and starvation.
Na ukosaji wa chakula.
Businesses are not doing as they used to do.
Biashara hazinawiri jinsi zilivyokuwa.
People are losing their jobs each and every day.
Watu wanapoteza kazi zao kila siku.
There is a spirit of dryness on the land.
Kuna roho ya ukame kwenye nchi.
People are losing their jobs.
Watu wanapoteza kazi zao.
And people are losing their businesses.
Na watu wanapoteza biashara.
What is not happening?
Ni nini hakifanyiki?
What is eating Kenyans?
Ni nini kinakula Kenya?
And soon,
na hivi karibuni,
if we don't stand and pray,
tusiposimama na tuombe,
the level of suicide commission,
kiwango cha watu kujitoa uhai,
the level of suicide,
kiwango cha kujitoa uhai
in this country,
kwenye hii nchi,
it shall be an amazing.
Itakuwa juu sana.
Shall be an amazing.
Itakuwa ya ajabu.
Shall be an amazing.
Itakuwa ya ajabu.
The level of committing suicide.
Kiwango cha watu kujitoa uhai.
I have a message.
Ninao ujumbe.
Who is the Minister of Finance?
Ni nani waziri wa fedha?
I wish he saw what is coming.
Laiti angeona kinachokuja.
He would have resigned.
Angewacha kazi.
Unless we pray.
Labda tutuombe.
I am telling you, John Buddy.
Nakwambia John Buddy.
You are going to be frustrated more than you have ever been frustrated.
Unaenda kugandamizwa, unaenda kufinyika zaidi ya umewahi.
Even now your frustration have just begun.
Hata sasa hivi unahisi kufinyika.
Something is not right with this country spiritually.
Kitu hakifanyiki sawa kwenye nchi hii kiroho.
This is a message to John Buddy.
Huu ni ujumbe kwa John Buddy.
Yes, you are learned.
Ndiyo, umesoma.
You are schooled well.
Umesoma shule vizuri.
You are a bright man.
Wewe ni mwanaume uko sawa.
You can make a change.
Unaweza
But listen to the voice. You are facing something that is beyond supernatural. Something which is beyond humanic.
Unapitia kitu ambacho ni zaidi ya fahamu ya mwanadamu.
You want to change a state.
Unataka kubadilisha hali
which you cannot change.
Ambayo huwezi badilisha.
Listen to what the Spirit of God is telling me, John Buddy.
Sikia kile Roho wa Mungu ananiambia, John Buddy.
You are not given that seat because there was no one better.
Haukupewa hicho kiti sababu hakukuwa na mtu mzuri.
But you are given that seat because they realized that it was beyond their control.
Lakini ulipewa kiti hicho maana waligundua
it is a trap that you people were given.
Ni mtego nyinyi watu mlipewa.
If you don't sink yourself in prayers,
msipojitafuteni kwenye maombi,
you will fail terribly.
Utaanguka vibaya zaidi.
And they will say, you see,
na watasema unaona,
we gave them.
Tuliwapa.
Why haven't they performed?
Mbona hawajafanya vizuri?
But if you dip yourself in prayer,
basi ila ukijiweka kwenye maombi,
if you find the face of God,
ukitafuta uso wa Mungu,
then God will go with you like Daniel.
Basi Mungu ataenenda nawe kama Danieli.
God will go with you like Joseph.
Mungu ataenenda na wewe kama Yusufu.
You will bring a change where people never thought there can be a change.
Utaleta mabadiliko mahali watu hawakudhania kungekuwa.
And they will wonder how you made it.
Na watashangaa ulifanya vipi.
Because the challenges of Kenya,
manake changamoto za Kenya,
they are not just economical.
Sio tu changamoto za kifedha.
Because of the global dynamics of economies.
Kwa sababu ya changamoto ya kidunia.
But Kenya is both spiritual and economical.
Lakini Kenya iko na shida ya kiroho.
If you can hear.
Kama unaweza sikia.
Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 7, my work is to raise the voice as a watchman.
Ezekiel 33:7, kazi yangu ni kuinua sauti jinsi asemavyo Mungu.
And every man and every woman in business.
Na kila mwanamke na mwanaume kwenye biashara.
Every man and every woman who is doing business.
Kila mwanamke na mwanaume anayefanya biashara.
It is a high time.
Ni wakati mzuri.
You do business careful.
Ufanye biashara kwa makini.
Do business smart.
Fanya biashara kwa uwerevu.
Invest more.
Wekeza zaidi.
Spend less.
Tumia kidogo.
But pray much.
Lakini omba kwa wingi.
Increase your stock.
Endeleza kuwekeza.
Reduce your expenditure.
Punguza matumizi.
Multiply your prayer on your business.
Zidisha maombi yako kuhusu biashara yako.
Failure to that,
bila ya hiyo,
there is a spirit moving on the land.
Kuna roho inayotembea kwenye nchi.
Eating and feeding on small businesses.
Ikikula biashara ndogo ndogo.
And Hindus
na Wahindi
and Kalasingas,
na Wakalasinga,
they have already detected the spirit.
Wameshaona hiyo roho.
And they are already moving out of the country, selling their business and closing their companies.
Na wameanza kuuza biashara zao wakitoka kwenye nchi.
Because they have realized there is a voice on the land.
Kwa sababu wamegundua kuna sauti kwenye nchi.
They have noticed that there is a voice on the land.
Wamehisi kuna sauti kwenye nchi.
There is a spirit on the land.
Kuna roho kwenye nchi.
Which they cannot fight.
Ambayo hawawezi pigana nayo.
Now they are taking their companies out of Kenya.
Basi wanatoa kampuni zao nje ya Kenya.
But they are remaining Kenya, they are making Kenya a consumption, a consumer.
Wanafanya Kenya kama watumizi.
Because there is a spirit on the land.
Kwa sababu kuna roho fulani kwenye nchi.
Where this spirit came from,
mahali hilo ilitokea,
we cannot tell.
Hatuwezi elezea.
That is not important.
Lakini sio muhimu.
What is important
ambacho ni cha muhimu
is that the spirit is with us.
Ni kwamba roho ipo nasi.
We need to pray over it.
Tuombe yake.
Somebody can pray, we shall pray.
Mtu anayeweza omba tafadhali omba.
Number 3.
Ya tatu.
There's a high level of the depths.
Na kiwango cha juu cha roho ya kifo.
Many Kenyans,
Wakenya wengi,
they have debts.
Wana madeni.
You have somebody who has a debt of somebody, it's a debt of somebody.
Una deni la mtu ambaye deni la mwingine na mwingine ana deni la mwingine.
And Kenyans now,
na Wakenya wengi sasa,
my people,
watu wangu,
they are living a life of fear, of frustration, of debt.
Wanaishi maisha ya kuogopa kwa sababu ya madeni.
Because somebody want to be paid, and so you must pay somebody, and you have to be paid by somebody.
Kwa sababu kuna mtu anataka umlipe na kuna mwingine anataka alipe ya kwako.
If we don't take ourselves in prayer,
tusipojiingiza kwenye maombi,
this spirit debt,
hii roho ya madeni,
it is going up.
Inazidi kupanda.
Be honest.
Kuwa muwazi.
Even right now as you are listening to the message,
hata sasa hivi unavyosikiza ujumbe,
you might be a debtor.
Unaweza kuwa umekopa.
And so what this spirit is after,
kwa hivyo ambacho hilo iko inafuatilia,
is to make them frustrated,
ni kufanya Kenya wagandamizwe,
and increase level of anxiety,
na waongeze uoga ndani yao.
What is the agenda?
Na sijui mipango yao ni gani.
Something I know.
Lakini ninachojua,
according to the book of Naomi 1,
kulingana kitabu cha Naomi
1:7,
aya 7,
the Lord shall take care of those that who trust in him.
Bwana atawajali wanaomtumaini.
But it is just important for you to have the message and to know what is happening.
Lakini muhimu uwe na ujue ni nini.
I'm just passing the message to you.
Kwa hivyo mimi naleta tu ujumbe kwako,
so you may know,
ili ujue,
and you may have the message.
Na uwe na ujumbe.
The King of England is coming to Kenya. But I don't think as a prophet.
Yet your church leaders knows.
Ile hali viongozi wenu wa kanisa wanajua.
Your church leaders knows.
Viongozi wa makanisa wanajua.
Because they sit with the tables in secret darkness.
Lakini sababu wanakula na nyinyi kwenye meza zenu kwenye siri.
They sit with them.
Nakula na wao.